The Death Star conference room, the inner sanctum that ran the Empire. For 50 years, no playset has ever put you here. No circular command table, no tactical holoprojector glowing at its core. The most powerful space in the galaxy, and Kenner never built it. So I did. This is the Death Star conference room, the space where the Empire decided the fate of entire worlds, and the one playset that should have existed since 1977. Before I open any design software, I always go back to paper. For me, sketching is the rawest part of the design process. It's a direct link to my imagination, and it's the absolute best place for me to experiment. If I make a mistake here, I can fix it with a single pencil stroke, and if I get a sudden flash of inspiration, I can add the new idea in seconds before complex digital tools slow down my creative momentum. On these pages, my concepts stay fluid and completely forgiving. This is where I try things out, fail safely, and in the end, find the soul of the build. With my sketches complete, I move directly to the workbench for footprint mapping. Masking tape is my go-to tool for planning scale. It's quick, visual, and gives me an immediate one-to-one sense of the space in the physical world before I ever touch a computer. When planning the conference room, the primary challenge is managing the physical dimensions. In the film, the conference table features 12 distinct seating positions. Replicating that layout exactly would dramatically bloat the toy's footprint, making it completely unplayable on the standard tabletop. To keep the design functional and toyetic, I compress the layout down to 8 spaces. This preserves the iconic circular geometry while keeping the playset at a practical size. Next, I stage a few figures directly on the tape layout to test the flow and the sightlines. Seeing them in place makes it clear how much physical clearance each individual seating zone needs. I spent about 4 days modeling the structure in Tinkercad to turn my paper sketches into real 3D printable parts. I engineered this section so it fits directly onto the Death Star bridge playset, ensuring a clean, flush connection between the two modules. To give myself maximum flexibility when filming, I made all of the walls completely modular. This allows me to easily slide out individual panels so I can shoot my setup from multiple camera angles without the architecture blocking the lens. Finally, I modeled the overhead ceiling panels with deep recessed slots, allowing me to run the LED light fixtures seamlessly into the top of the frame. With the digital design finished, fabrication began. Printing the entire set took about 6 days of continuous runtime, utilizing 3 Bambu Lab H2D 3D printers working full-time. This production run turned out all the essential components for the build. To detail the individual interfaces, I chose to go with custom stickers for the graphics. This is a deliberate throwback to the classic Kenner design language, giving the finished toy an authentic retro look. I designed the control layouts using Adobe Creative Cloud and printed them directly onto high-quality sticker paper. The graphics replicate the classic look of backlit panels, toggle switches, and sliding levers, typical of Imperial technology. Next, I designed the seating, which required some careful scaling adjustments. While I matched the distinct shapes of the movie props, I had to modify their final geometry to account for the limited 5 points of articulation on vintage action figures. For Grand Moff Tarkin's seat, I wanted to capture the exact visual hierarchy from the screen. His chair is physically distinguished from the other 7 by an extended high-back frame. For the figure itself, I'm using the Grand Moff Tarkin from the classic Escape the Death Star board game, which fits the vintage aesthetic perfectly. The true centerpiece of the room is the central Holoprojector Dome. This device served as a central communications hub, broadcast long-range holographic messages. When I first looked at the initial print, I realized that the holoprojector was a little too large in proportion. To fix the balance, I created a revised smaller version that fits the overall scale perfectly. To ensure this matches my previous desktop builds, which you can see linked in the description, I had to elevate the platform so all the different scenes line up perfectly as one huge playset. I was actually inspired by Lego for the base, and I ended up building my own oversized Lego brick to act as the foundation for the conference room. Initially, I created a black floor for the playset, and this lined up visually with what was seen on screen. However, lighting proved challenging, and since the filaments were the same shades of black, the playset and Darth Vader appeared to disappear into the darkness. So I decided to continue on with a grey filament for the flooring as a much better contrast. To fit the layout onto the beds of my Bambu printers, I split the oval decks into quadrants. The segments lock together using printed cylinders, which act just like traditional woodworking dowel joints, which are commonly used in furniture. I printed a few test wall segments to verify the proportions. Getting the scale right is critical, so I always drop in figures to ensure the height of the inner walls matches the characters perfectly. I was actually watching an Adam Savage video about movie prop lighting that perfectly broke down cinematic diffusion, and it completely inspired my approach with this build. I designed a multi-piece version of this housing with dedicated slots for electronics. I modeled matching grills along the base to mimic the cinematic look, using remote-controlled LED tea lights for color flexibility, enclosed in a transparent housing to maximize the glow. To bring this feature to life, I embedded bright LED emitters directly into the bottom of the table structure. Then I printed two swappable holographic inserts using clear filament, one of Darth Vader and the other of the Emperor's personal shuttle. Of course, raw prints always leave some webbing behind, so I used sanding sticks with 3D prints to clean up the surfaces of the holo projections. I also left a circular opening right in the center of the deck for the table base, printing that component in a clear filament so the internal LED tea lights can illuminate the holo projector and cast an ambient under-table glow. In A New Hope, this conference room is adjacent to the Death Star's command bridge. To replicate that layout, I engineered an entrance that connects the two playsets together. This entire build is modular, meaning it can fully open up so I can pull back the panels, shoot from any angle and replicate scenes from the movie or create my own stories. Growing up, the Star Wars universe felt completely limitless, but the toys we had often left us underserved. We had amazing vehicles, but the playset selection was always limited. Decades later, standing at this workbench, this project became about bridging those exact gaps once and for all. With the bridge section connected, the true scope of this project is finally being realized. By interlocking this command hub with my previous builds, they cease to be isolated playsets. They form a single interconnected machine. We've journeyed all the way from the claustrophobia of the trash compactor, through the sabotage of the tractor beam, across the bottomless abyss of the chasm, and straight into the chilling tyranny of the Death Star conference room. It is the complete unbroken sequence I spent years wishing for as a kid, finally made real in front of me. But our work isn't finished yet. If you're enjoying this build, press like, subscribe, hit the hype button, and tell me in the comments what classic playset should we conquer next. And as always, live long and play on.